Only joking. Very somber show. Very somber start to the show this week. Hi, this is Nick, aka Stop Kermit. How did that work out? It's going to be a bit of an autopsy, I think, from myself, and also Carl sitting in the background there. I can see him having a little chomp on a bit of pizza, waiting to come in to obviously talk about what happened last week with the New England Patriots. And of course, if his microphone's working, which is hilarious because when you see his background that he's set up behind him, you know, it's all laid out all nice and symmetrical and it looks really, really good. But unfortunately, Super Smug might not have a microphone that works. So we are going to find that out. And I promise you, I did threaten to mute him, but yeah, I won't. Anyway, very somber start, as I said, but without further ado, fuck this shit. Let's get into it. Carl, what's up, man? How you doing?
Can't really say much, unfortunately. None of my football teams are doing any good. And it feels like the greatest coach that maybe the NFL's ever seen looks like is now being found out to be an absolute fraud. But we don't know. I've got no words. I have no words right now.
I mean, I obviously was shocked about shock's the wrong word because, you know, and I said I knew the Niners would lose. In my head, in my heart, I'm always going to pick them, but that was just the biggest shit show on defense I've ever seen. Forget what happened on offense. Forget that for a minute. They were awful. And I don't know where that came from. And we'll get into it, but let's give him his moment. By the way, if this is your first time watching us, please hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can watch more of this tomfoolery every week when we talk NFL, pick'ems, etc. Now, I promise you, I haven't muted him. So hopefully his microphone works. But if he does get too smug, I will be muting him just for shits and giggles. Does your microphone work?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, it's not work. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No,
just in time.
Motherfucker.
Fellas, how are we doing?
I hope that was rhetorical, Scott.
It's... We are going to. We are obviously. We're going to talk about both scenarios and games and stuff. And as I said, obviously, in the intro, or just to Carl, just a second ago, you're always going to pick your team against the odds, and there was a reason why the Niners were underdogs. But it was. I mean, even you couldn't have expected how. I mean, they got waxed. And yeah. I always quote Die Hard, and it was like when the police officer, John McClane says to that police officer, well, you're the one that's just been butt fucked on national TV, Dwayne. And that is what it felt like. Now, yeah, I mean, and I knew I had to do something in your honor, Scott. So I've given you your own segment to say how wonderful the Chiefs were. And they were good. Don't get me wrong. They were good. But here is your own special banner. Mr. Smug gets ultra smug. Now, did you foresee that result?
No. On my Chiefs Kingdom Live show that I do, I predicted like 27-17. I thought they might win by 10 to 14 points was what I was predicting. I did not see your all-time great number one defense in the history of the NFL just getting absolutely shithoused.
Don't make me mute you.
I mean,
they are the all-time greatest defense in the history of the world. Yeah,
they looked like a high school team out there trying to guard the Chiefs. Man, they got fucking destroyed.
The thing I don't get is, and from my point of view, from watching it, and again, you watch it through rose-tinted glasses when it's going well, and you think everything's going to be all right, and the interception early and things weren't happening for the Chiefs. And then it got to sort of near half time and they started to come back into it. And in the end, the Niners defense was stroking the belly, it's like a fucking lapdog, stroking the belly of the Chiefs. Yeah. There was nothing there. Nothing. No adjustments. And we all know offensive side of the ball. Yes, it was good to see McCaffrey in a Niners uniform, and he flashed.
Good.
He looked good, right? But someone else is going to be getting their ass kicked out of this stream in a minute if they carry on or mute.
My hands are on the table.
Yeah, it's all right.
No.
Yeah, it was. I honestly, it was. If you were a fan of the Chiefs, that was that. There was there was nothing, and that was power football. That was just brutal to watch, and it wouldn't matter whether it was my team or another team. The way that they systematically dismantled that so-called number one defense, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
It was ugly. They played better in the first half. You talk about not making any adjustments. Now, the interception that Patrick Mahomes threw, Andy Reid said after the game, Sky Moore didn't run the right route, didn't curl it off like he was supposed to. So the guy jumped out, but I don't think Sky
Mahomes looked human on that drive.
Right. You guys know what you did wrong, right?
Turned up.
No.
Well done, Captain Obvious.
The 49ers got a 10-point lead, and we all know how that ends up, getting a 10-point lead over the Chiefs. It just pisses them off, and they go on a tear. But the thing is, that was never really a 10-point game at that point. No. We were. I can't explain it, and I want to ask you one question. Why did they stop running the ball in the first quarter?
Because that's what they always do.
They were running all over the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense was not stopping the 49ers run game. And then all of a sudden they just decided, let's have Jimmy G drop back a whole bunch and try to throw the ball. And I didn't understand it, but don't feel too bad.
Offensive line was
That's
working.
What happens whenever the number one defense goes up against Patrick Mahomes. More often than not, maybe it's the challenge, maybe it's teams play weaker competition, so their defense fattens up on non-Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid offenses and Travis Kelce. But yeah, no, that was I did not see that coming, but I wasn't surprised either.
I was. Sorry, go on, Carl.
Sorry, I don't want to be cut in there. The thing what I watched on this game, in particular, we always. A lot of it, everyone always turns around and say, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he can make all these ridiculous throws, these no-look passes and these sidearm passes and the toss forward and that. No one could really do that before. But on the other side of the coin, he can also do the basic plays better than probably any quarterback in the NFL, probably minus maybe Josh Allen. But right now, Mahomes can do it all, and he'll pick you apart one way or another. The one player I was really impressed with during that game was Juju Smith-Schuster. That was a game where Juju finally showed up what he's capable of. And the fact we've said no Tyreek Hill is going to be an issue. No, he'll throw to 6 different receivers and 4 different tight ends. It makes him it's no shit off shovel for him. Mahomes is just that good. And
another issue for me,
the Niners D was just.
Another issue for me with the overall Niners defense was playing Jimmy Ward with that club on his hand. He ain't catching shit. Might be able to shovel up some snow somewhere with his fucking hand like that, but he's not gonna stop anyone. And I know they were light on the ground. I know that, and I understand, but I will never understand why, if he's a defensive lineman, right? I understand that, and I know he uses his hands, but he can still be effective in that position playing with a club. Because who was the guy that shot his fingers off with fireworks? Jason
Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
He still plays, right? And he's got an adapted thing. So, and he's a defensive player, and he's on the line, and I get that. It didn't help. Hi, Ryan, by the way. Good to see you. Been a long time, brother. How are you? Are you well?
Hey, gentlemen. What's going on, guys? Just driving like always.
And there's Mrs. Ryan.
Right there.
Good to see her being so happy.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hi, Carl. Say hi, Carl.
Hey,
Hi, Nick. Hiya.
We're gonna.
Yeah, no, that's
We're gonna
let
Carl,
the smug.
Let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smug.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, what were your overriding thoughts on it, Ryan? It was sobering, very sobering from a fan's perspective, that when you think the team, and we knew it'd be limited offensively, we got that, right? But they got waxed. That defense just rolled over and let Kansas City rub its belly for the whole of the second half, and it was just a joke.
All I say is thank God I wasn't drunk. If I'd say. Because if I was drunk, I would have went off.
I wish I was, and I stayed relatively sober.
I was about to say, are you sure you didn't mean to say I wish I was drunk?
I don't drink. I don't drink anyway. I only drink my quarters.
I mean, it was. If I hadn't had a drink or never had a drink in my life, I think by the start or the mid fourth quarter, I would have probably drunk at least a 12 case of beer. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
That's right. It's just frustrating. But yeah, I don't think like Scott said, even he couldn't have imagined just how easy that really was, and it was a cakewalk for them. And I don't know whether that exposes our defense that aren't as good as everyone thought they were, or it was just Mahomes and Andy Reid doing some serious cooking and making themselves look good. I mean, Carl, what do you think? Like, do you think it was just Mahomes, as Laney said, Mahomes magic and Andy Reid being the wizard that he is, or the Niners D were just completely out-coached, out-fought, out everything, the whole lot?
Yeah. The Chiefs, they struggled to get going in the first quarter, but as soon as you went 10-0 up, that's it. They turned on the Jets. They were ruthless in the way that they played. I just don't think the Niners defense is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but unless you can find a way to stop Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, it's going to be a very long day. That was the case of this one. People are lambasting Jimmy Garoppolo again, which is not really surprising, considering if you look at his box score, 25 of 37, 303, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So you can probably look at that and it goes, actually, you know what? Jimmy didn't have a bad game until you start watching all the breakdowns of his throws that he missed. There was a lot of late check downs he missed. There was a lot of early slant shots he could have missed. He didn't have his best game, and it was just a complete. The Chiefs just ran the 49ers over.
But the thing was, at the beginning, even I believed that Jimmy could be good Jimmy. Just stretch it for another week. And we all know with how he is against the Rams, right? And that's a totally different animal. But he came out and he actually looked good Jimmy, but better than good Jimmy. And then it just got steadier, worse and worse and worse, until even I, being a Jimmy fan, was screaming at him on the screen, pulling my hair out.
Yeah, Jimmy don't play defense, though.
No, he doesn't. But you see, this is the other thing, Scott, right? And we all know what happened in the Super Bowl. And we all know why it happened. Same exact reasons as what happened last Sunday. No adjustments, not running the ball. You know, and that's their strength. McGlinchey was a fucking turnstile at right guard.
Yeah,
awful.
He was bad.
What's his name? The best left tackle in the game. Totally whiffed on a play that Chris Jones smacked the shit out of the thing.
And he got burned for the sack safety there that really put the game away, because
exactly.
That gave them a 14-point lead and the ball. Then they go down, they get up 21, and you just knew at that point that the game was really over. I think my homie, the GOAT down there, he hit the nail on the head. I feel like the 49ers rushed guys back that weren't ready to play. And I talked about this on my show with John V leading up to the game the Wednesday before. I kind of said, you know what? Outside of this whole Super Bowl rematch, which you're never going to get a Super Bowl rematch in the regular season. That just doesn't exist, okay? But outside of that, this game really did not mean anything to the 49ers. It's a non-conference game. You lose this game, it's one loss. It doesn't affect your playoff standings. There's no tiebreaker really implications involved. And it felt like the 49ers rushed guys back and brought guys back that were not ready to play, maybe weren't 100%. And it showed, because Trent Williams, not only did he get beat on that one play by Chris Jones, but he just got ran right around by Frank Clark, who is not the Frank Clark of 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. But he just ran right around him.
The reason why I think
Ward got burned on a deep pass, which never happens to that guy. MVS got behind him. Nick Bosa, he got a sack, but they were going right at Nick Bosa. I mean, they had no real problem blocking him. He did not look as fast as he usually is. Mahomes had all day in the pocket. They had a couple of plays where they were setting it up where they were blocking him with the running back, and then the running back just runs right by him for the screen pass on 3rd and 20.
I don't want to talk about that.
And that was your guy. That was old tired legs. Little revenge factor going on there. But did they rush players back because this was like Kyle was going to show the Chiefs and try to get his payback or his revenge? And maybe
this is the thing.
Took the game too seriously.
I think tomorrow is more important, and they needed to get some game time under their belts for tomorrow. And whilst the game didn't matter, as you said, and it didn't, because as you said, it's not interconference, blah blah blah. You know, I think they came back because they were trying them out for tomorrow against the Rams, and it was a big mistake. And I honestly can't fathom it. I honestly cannot fathom why we put those players in a game that could hurt them more, injure them more. It was a bit silly, really, and we're paying the price. We got players out tomorrow, Deebo Samuel, and again,
that's another guy I didn't even bring up. He didn't look very good. He didn't do anything in the game.
But he got the ball early and did a few things, and then he probably got injured, didn't say anything, tried to run it off, tried to mask the fact because he wanted to be there for his team, and now he's made it worse and he's out. So
I wanted to ask you about this too, with the whole Tua thing that happened a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, and then the Cameron Brate concussion with the Buccaneers. How did that safety of yours clear concussion protocol the morning of the game, then get hit in the head and wobble, getting back, and then play again later in that game? How the fuck did that happen?
Well, we've had that conversation, as you say, about the Tua thing. And I don't understand it. I can't understand it.
I think that what we're also got to look at as well is I think we need to take a good look at Kyle Shanahan here, because I feel like as a coach in this game, this was not one of his finest moments. There's something I saw which actually really shocked the living hell out of me, okay? When Kyle Shanahan is in the fourth quarter coaching for the Niners, if they are down by 3 or more points at the start of the fourth quarter, he is 1-30. That basically shows you who the 49ers are. They're a team that want to stay want to stay in the lead throughout that entirety of the game. The minute they start falling back, they can't get that lead back. And that's the reason why they also wanted to move off Jimmy G, and that's why they go to Trey Lance. That was one of the reasons. But coaching needs to be better. D'Amico Ryan, you want to be a head coach next year? You need to do better than that, Sunshine.
Right.
You need to do better than that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if that was a dress rehearsal for getting a head coaching job, he's going to be the Niners. He's going to be.
Look, I had some fun with it on Twitter during the week. Obviously, that's what we do as friends and as fans. If you all would have smoked us, I would have expected the same shit talking to me going on. It's all in good fun. If you're a Niners fan, don't overreact too much to one game.
You obviously haven't been looking too much at 49ers Twitter.
The Chiefs lost to the Colts earlier in the season. Okay, like one game is not the entire season. And the Chiefs, their offense is just that good. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. When the Chiefs get on a roll and they get in a rhythm and Patrick Mahomes is standing back there, especially when he has all day in the pocket and you don't get any pressure on him. People always talk about the Mahomes magic plays where he rolls out and makes this play, and he does do that. But when he has time to just stand there in the pocket, that dude is just going to annihilate your defense. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. He goes up against these number one defenses all the time and puts up Madden numbers and 400 yards and 3 or 4 or 5 touchdowns. So was it a good look? No. But was it also just one game against a supremely talented offense and quarterback? You're not going to play another team on offense with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes the rest of the year. Maybe if you somehow found your way into the Super Bowl, you had to play him again. But especially not like in your division in the NFC. What team out there poses that kind of threat and that kind of talent on offense?
I'd say the Bills would probably run it pretty close. And the other thing as well, it kind of, I don't know, because the debate turns back again. The Pats, sorry, not Pats. Sorry, I've just read Cole's message, and that's why I had Pats on my brain. That Mahomes and company are now the best team in football again, and this, that, and the other. Whereas most people still think the Bills. I know you don't, Scott. I know you don't.
They're really close.
I don't know. If Mahomes goes down, who's your backup? See, that's what I would look at, and who's the Bills?
Well, yeah, no, that's anything.
Because
if Josh Allen goes down, what do the Bills got? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. But that's
every contending team.
The
Bills and the Chiefs, man, they're like right there.
Brock Purdy came in and threw an interception, so that was good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Bills. I think the Bills and Chiefs are neck and neck for the two best teams in the NFL right now. And you saw it when they played a couple weeks ago. The Chiefs were a minute away from beating them, right? And, I mean, they didn't beat them, but that was a close game. The Chiefs had a lead for a good portion of that game. It was back and forth, neck and neck. So, yeah, but again, the Bills aren't in the NFC. That's not a team you have to worry about playing.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm just kind of glad that, they're not in our division, because I couldn't stand watching that twice a season. It would, it would give me heart palpitations. It was bad, and it's been hard to move on this week because I've seen the usual crap on Twitter about fire him, fire that. Trey Lance would have done so much better. We could have won with Trey Lance, and it's Carl's fault. He's a QB killer. He made, he injured the player, and irrespective of how he got injured, it was a read option, and Trey Lance decided where he was going to run. He wasn't told to run in that gap.
Well, Trey Lance, Trey Lance doesn't play defense.
No, exactly.
So, the defense is what lost you the game.
Yeah.
The defense could not get off the field. I don't think they force the Chiefs into one punt the whole game. I don't think they did. And
no,
really,
I don't think they did.
Really, they were lucky. The defense was lucky that they weren't down by 20 at the half, because they took a touchdown away from the Chiefs on a ridiculous low block on Nick Bosa, and then the Chiefs subsequently missed the field goal. They should have been up 20-13 at half, or 21-13 at half. So, I don't know. That's apparently you guys have had enough. You're turning off.
No, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get myself sorted because someone's coming in through the door right now. It's not a good look for me. No, but as far as the Niners, look, they've got a bit of work to do. It's just they ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into an absolute buzzsaw in the Chiefs, and there's not a lot that there isn't a lot that you can do about it. When the Chiefs are firing on all cylinders, they are so difficult and so hard to stop. Number one defense in the NFL. Yeah, but if you don't stop Mahomes, mate, he'll put 30, 40 points on you with ease.
Right.
And that's basically what the Chiefs did.
Especially if you let them stand back there all day with protection and no pass rush really whatsoever. Aside from the one sack by Bosa, I don't even know if he was knocked to the ground. Other than that, you're not going to beat the Chiefs doing that. That ain't going to happen.
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. It's not the worst case scenario for the 49ers, but they're playing the Lambs this week. This is, you could say it is. I would say it is. It's must win, but I don't think it is must win. I would say, you look across the NFC, there isn't many teams out there which are striking me as real contenders to represent the NFC, excluding the Eagles. The Vikings, I think, the Vikings will fall off in the playoffs at some point, because they always do. Vikings will Viking. The NFC East, I can't put a gauge on. I can't put a gauge on Dallas. I can't put a gauge on the New York Giants, despite the fact their records are outstanding. But are we just wait? Are the New York Giants basically the elephant that's on top of the tree and waiting for him to fall off?
The Eagles are the class of the NFC right now. There's no doubt about that. It's the Eagles and everybody else. Although the Cowboys got a good defense and Dak's back, and so it's that division the 49ers are in. Seattle and Geno Smith's in first place right now at 4-3. You said who would have predicted that at the start of the season? Right. So they're right in the hunt. Yeah, that's a tough loss, especially when you're someone like Nick and you know somebody who's a Chiefs fan that rubs it in your face all weekend and all week. But I don't. The season's not over for the 49ers. Just like the season's not won for the Chiefs. They got a lot of games to go. They still got to catch Buffalo and try to get that number one seed. They got 10 games left. They're on a bye this week, but they're a game behind Buffalo with the tiebreaker in Buffalo's hands. They got a lot of work cut out for themselves to go. Still, they got some tougher games. They got to play the Bengals, who look resurgent. The Seahawks game looked like a gimme to start the season. That game doesn't look like a gimme anymore. So anything can happen any given Sunday. But yeah, no, that was just complete domination.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens now with the Niners. Obviously, they will get no Devo Samuel going to be out. That's a huge loss for them. But the Rams are just a little bit in flux right now. Their O-line is trash. Their receivers right now is Cooper Kupp and no one else. Defensively, they're not as good. Apart from Aaron Donald, they're not as good as what they once were.
No.
So this needs to be a get-right game for the Niners, and it happens to be in SoFi South. So, you know, that benefits them massively. I just look at the Niners right now in the position that if they lose this game and end up going 3-5, they're in the same sort of situation what they were in last year. They also went 3-5 after 8 weeks. The people literally were just writing them off. Then they went on that massive run.
Yeah,
and managed to make the playoffs.
Hoping to duplicate that's not a recipe for success necessarily, but you know they could do it.
Are we still talking about the stupidity of the 49ers, or have we moved on?
No. I was just saying that the season's not over for the 49ers because of that one bad loss. That's all we were talking about.
It isn't, but
they're still right there in the division. Geno Smith and the Seahawks are in first place by 1 game. They're still right in the mix, right in the hunt. If you're a Bucs fan, it's a little less bleak, more bleak.
The other thing, the other thing, of course, is there's the Bucs and there's the Broncos, which is, and I forgot that the cornball is in town, and if I'd have known, I'd have gone to have met him when they came off the plane in London with a big sign saying, "Welcome to London, cornball. Let's ride." But I didn't, so I couldn't.
Yeah, that was terrible. We talk about the Bears and the Patriots. What happened there?
Well, I know Carl needs an intervention.
The Bears look fucking like the worst team in the NFL.
It's just one
until
of them.
That game.
But that's the thing, right? And we get it occasionally where there's a game where you just shake your head and think, what the fuck just happened? A team that might be. Oh, hang on.
What the fuck, man? Really?
Oh dear, Carl. No, it's not Carl. I don't know who that is because I'm not a horror fan. So can someone explain to me what that mask is?
CMFT. I don't like what I saw on Monday night. I absolutely did not. It was appalling from start to finish. Coaching was shit. Offense was shit. Defense was shit. Special teams was shit. It was just an absolute awful game. And they have this QB controversy on our hands now. Well, it's not really a controversy. It's now a quarterback problem because Bill Belichick has single-handedly ruined 2 quarterbacks in the space of a game. That takes fucking talent to do that. Now, Matt Jones starting, okay, I didn't exactly have an issue with it. I thought that, he came back from injury. Let's see how he gets on. But the fact he got lynched off the field after the 3rd drive, which was the interception, I just don't get it. I just absolutely do not get it. The whole point of starting your quarterback is to make sure you're going through until if you are losing and you are say you are like 14 to 21 points behind, then you put the reserve QB in and say Mac Jones for another day. You don't lynch him off after 3 drives in the first quarter. That was just fucking that is a Pop Warner move that Belichick done there. Zappy come in, 2 straight drives, 2 straight touchdowns. Great, we're in business now. And then it just went to shit again. The defense couldn't stop anything. We gave up 243 yards rushing. The last time we gave up those sorts of yards was against Derrick Henry in the Tennessee Titans for Tom Brady's final game at the Patriots. It was just an absolute train wreck. An absolute train wreck. Fucking Trent Brown, 4 penalties, 2 holding, 1 false start, and 1 tripping penalty. 3 of those penalties occurred in the first two drives with Mac Jones. That's how it all stalled out, because it was just penalty after penalty after penalty. I thought Isaiah Wynn was a massive issue. Nope, we've got bigger issues on our hands. Trent Brown keeps on false starting on penalties, and Marcus Cannon, he's still getting his fitness back, and he couldn't play the full stretch. He was just getting absolutely manhandled. I just don't get it. I mean, look, I posted a tweet out before this game happened, okay? I said, what has Bailey Zappi warranted in order for him to be benched for Mac Jones to come in? He's had 2 starts. He's won 2 games. Okay, you have to put it into context. It's against the Lions and against the Cleveland Browns. But still, win's a win. You still perform the way you are. And so I would have just said roll with the hot hand. And if he stinks up the joint, then you bring Mac Jones in. But Belichick completely, he's on mute.
I've only done this show for nearly 3 fucking years. You'd think the doofus I am would know to switch my fucking microphone on. Sorry, Carl. The point I was going to make, and you're exactly right about that, is go with who was working.
Yeah.
If it works, leave him in. You're not going to lose any face. You're not going to end up with the shit show that you ended up with. Just leave him in there. If he stinks, then you've got a reason to put the number 1 guy back in, right? Still coming back from injury, blah, 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 and all that. You've got that excuse. But to do what he did, as you said, it just undermines both players. And it, to me, it's like Mahomes said, is Belichick just part of the Tom Brady millionaire club?
It's now starting to be apparent to that.
Everyone wondered, didn't they? Why were the Pats so successful? Was it the coaching or was it the QB? And you can see now, because Brady now is showing a lot of, I would say age. I won't say flaws, because you can't say, and he isn't the greatest of all time. It's Joe Montana, end of story. But a bit like, and I was going to bring it up, Matt Ryan got benched because he stank. And we said it. How many times this season have we said it's catching up with him? It's catching up with him. Finally, someone woke up in Indianapolis and knew. And again, Frank Wright, I'm sorry, if they have a losing season, hook him, gone. He's gone through how many quarterbacks? I said, Wentz, waste of time. Why bother? Matt Ryan had been at that team all those years, had limited success, but he was Matt Ryan and blah, blah, blah. Goes to Indianapolis, and time has caught up with these guys. It's finally, and yeah, people say, oh yeah, but he's having problems with Giselle and this and that and blah, blah. No, he's just not very good anymore. As hard as he was overthrowing, underthrowing.
Yeah.
He's gotten old. You know,
but it happens.
No one stays on top forever. And, was it Tom Brady or was it Bill Belichick? It was a combination of the two, because there's a lot of those teams that rode defenses to the Super Bowl. I mean, they won a Super Bowl against the Rams where they gave up 3 fucking points on defense. Like, I don't know. I always give more credit to the players than the coaches, because have you ever seen a good coach with bad players win a lot of games? No. I always give more credit to the players than I do the coaching.
Hang on. Did you say a good coach with bad players?
That wins.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, I would argue Brian Dable for one, but
for a long term. And Brian Dable, you talk about him being the Giants. The Giants haven't had Saquon Barkley for 2-3 years now, because he's been hurt a majority of those seasons. You bring that guy back, and things look a lot better now. So, look, the Patriots were never going to stay on top forever. You lose guys, You look at some of the players they had on that defense throughout the years when they were really cooking and humming on offense. They had Randy Moss, who was still prime. I'll say that was prime, although it was towards the end of his prime. But they had stellar offensive linemen. They had guys on defense, Richard Seymour, guys like that. You just aren't going to be able to draft and replace and have these super teams forever. You look at you look at the dynasties, right? The 80s and the 49ers had the 80s, and then they kind of go off, and the Cowboys had the 90s, and nobody can do it forever. And is it one guy or the other? I'm always going to say it was more Tom Brady than Bill Belichick, because again, I give more credit to the players and the coaches, but it was both of them together that did it.
Remember back in the day when Gillette Stadium was an absolute fortress.
Right.
No one wanted to go there, let alone go and play January football there. It was hostile. It was a hard place to go to. From 2012 to 2019, the Patriots' home record was 54-10. As soon as Brady went out of the door, they're now 10-10 at home.
But the other thing as well, and I honestly think the Patriots is the last dynasty we will see for, I would say, maybe 10 years, 5-10 years, purely because of there's no loyalty in football. We've discussed this. Soon as a player wants to get paid, unless he is one of these one team people, and I believe Mahomes and Kelsey will be one team players. I don't think you'll see them moving anywhere, and it's not because Mahomes is on $20 gazillion or whatever it is contract. I don't think that's it. I just think that when you find something and it works, you stay. And to me, and I know he's obviously been paid ridiculously well for what he does, and worth it, of course. So why, to him, money's wouldn't be the issue. Now, if all of a sudden the Chiefs went in the tank, which I can't see, and all their players all piss off somewhere else for money, and they then go into a big rebuild, then maybe he may look. But that could be 5-6 years down the line.
Right.
But I think the days of the Niners, the Cowboys, the Steelers, and it's cyclical, right? It goes in cycles, and I think we won't see a dynasty team like those we've just talked about winning multiple Super Bowls in a decade or whatever. Oh, look who's just popped! Your little friend's popped up. Look at this.
My guy Freddie.
Yeah.
Paul?
No, look.
What's up, Freddie?
Carl's looking better than normal tonight.
Watch your mouth, Sunshine.
I thought it was actually an improvement on what usually.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
That guy dresses up for Carl for Halloween. That's what's really funny.
I'll unlock Carl out of the freaking torture chamber in about 5 minutes when I'm off. But no, that was just a shocking performance. We have to do better. Belichick has to do better. This game against the Jets now this week is no gimme. It's absolutely no gimme. We lose this, you might as well fucking stick a fork in our season. Because look at the stretch of games we have got from the Vikings onwards. It is fucking horrendous.
I honestly cannot take anything you're saying seriously. How have you been able to cope with this the last few minutes? It
just looks like normal Cole to me. I want to try and see him eat his pizza through that mask. Now that would be entertainment. But I mean, and I'm not going to rub it because I can't remember. But what happened with the Steelers last week? Did they have a bye?
We lost narrowly in Miami, 16-10.
Right. Okay. So again,
Kenny
for you. This is for you kind of strange because you're going to end probably, who knows, he might pull a rabbit out of the fire somewhere, but this could be your first losing season, Freddie, in a long time. And again, obviously, before you joined, we were talking. Cole looking like the 10th member of Slipknot.
God, that guy is such a dick. All right, where were we?
Such a Cole. He just told you to take the fucking mask off, not leave it on. Oh, you have taken it off. Sorry.
No,
He put on a worse one.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Halloween
fucking.
isn't till next week.
How many
You don't wanna-
masks does Carl have?
No, just.
Got more faces than the town hall clock you have, Carl. See, everyone now, look at the comments. Scary mask, see?
Oh. Yeah, he's a prick. Just ignore him. Just ignore CMFT. No, I'm back now. It's fine. That's a
So we're
fucking
all
hell.
on, apart from obviously Scott, we're all on life support because of how bad things have been.
Yeah. Basically.
I take no pleasure, Freddie. Well, I do because I have to remind Pete every so often just
To be
how
honest, I'm
shocking
happy.
the Steelers are.
I'm happy.
well, you're
Our team's got plenty of talent. We're having a rough year. It will get better. The offensive coordinator will be binned off possibly this week by what I'm hearing. So that will be fine. I'm looking forward to that. We'll probably lose tomorrow because we're playing the Eagles in Philadelphia. So
Ouch.
not much hope
Ouch.
on that one. But yeah, I'm fairly happy about what's to come in the future. We've still got a very good defense that kept Miami quiet after the first quarter on Sunday. Yeah, it's a rough year. I know that. We've got a rookie quarterback. It's just finding out what we've got in Kenny Pickett and moving on, which I actually think he's been playing okay. He's had his poor moments. Obviously, Sunday in the red zone, he made some pretty poor throws, but there was some good in there as well. So we'll wait and see. It's a feeding process, and
Do you know what? I
long
fucking hate smug Chiefs fans. Look at them. Look, they're all in here.
I know.
You could just start rooting for the Chiefs. Yeah, but you see, I'm not into WWE, and I don't like
I'm not interested in
chokeholds.
Kansas City.
I think they're offensive. So I could never root for a team that just chokeholds everyone. I just couldn't do it. Did Plymouth play today?
No, we played Monday night against Exeter.
Oh, on Monday night.
Yeah,
Home or away?
at home.
Going?
Yep.
Your ground, actually, to be fair. I saw a thing on TikTok. There's a guy that goes round in hospitality and stuff.
Yeah.
And he went to Plymouth. And your ground is so much changed from the last time I went.
Yeah, it's not too bad. As I say,
Admittedly,
as you can see by my name, I was happy with your result today. So
I can't explain that. I was just talk because my landlady's a Chelsea fan, and she was asking me, obviously because she knows I do this, and I was telling her how bad the 49ers were, and the best analogy I could come up with was it was like Brighton Chelsea today, and I'm surprised she didn't throw something at me. She's not happy, but but yeah, your ground, they've spent some money on it.
yeah, they have. But hey, if we want to go up the leagues, then that's what we've got to do. So
Well, yeah, you've just got to get out of that division, haven't you? So that's the hardest thing. But yeah, so are we all cleansed now, Carl? The interventions have all finished, have they?
Yes. Thank fuck.
I'm just disappointed we don't get to play the Patriots or the Steelers this year. That's all.
yeah, there won't be a playoff dropping this year, thankfully. Oh dear.
Yeah, it would be good.
And getting our asses kicked this year, thank goodness.
Right, now this is the thing that everyone wants to know about, Carl. Have you got your lone wolf pad?
Yes.
Who did anyone get any lone wolves right last week? Or is this going to be a very quick segment? Because obviously we need to know these things.
I don't think no one you lone wolfed a few, but actually got 0 right out of any of them. So you chose the tie over the Texans and the Raiders. You chose. I think it was.
I think I chose quite badly last week, if I'm honest. But then I'd probably think that every week.
Yeah, he did have the Raven. Me, Paul, and Scott all tried the Ravens to win. Win their game, and they did. You chose their opponent. I can't remember who it was now. There wasn't many lone wolves, to be honest with you. No one got any right anyway with gun of lone wolves. But as far as the actual records are concerned, Nick, you're back to the bottom again as always with only five correct.
I'm used to that.
Paul ended up with 7, and both me and Scott ended up with 9 each.
And as usual, I'm on the bottom, so just shows what I know, right? So there was the lone wolf update, and now let's see what is going to happen this week. Now, of course, we got a London game, and there was a really funny picture that I saw about Let's Ride, and it did make me chuckle, and I forgot to email it and use it as the header for the show. Oh dear, it is funny to see. And I don't know if anyone heard Russell Wilson talking about his flight over here. Did you hear that, Freddie?
Yep.
What a fuck! What a call. How can people take what he says seriously? Oh, I don't get jet lag. I had to do stretches. Now, if that was me, I'd be
bullshit.
Russell.
That's bullshit.
I would be Russell. Stop acting like a complete fucking idiot and sit your ass down. Not, I did an hour on the film and then I had to get up and ponce about and stretch out on the plane and blah, blah, and do all this. And
it seems to me a bit like, Pete Carroll sort of reined him in a bit for year after year after year, and now he's sort of been let loose. He's just being what a completely and utter muppet he is.
He's pathetic, isn't it? It is. Oh, I don't get jet lag. I don't do this. And it's like an annoying child, right? It's like they're sat at you in front of the football, and they're constantly talking or asking questions and just being really annoying, or they're behind you and they're kicking the front of your seat, and you just want to turn around and say, "Will you stop being such a dick?" And yeah, I mean, did you hear him, Scott? His interview he gave about being on the aircraft and not being jet lagged, and what a
yeah, he's the guy's he's not authentic at all. You can tell everything he does is fake and scripted and whatever. The guy's cheesy as hell. You call him cornball. That's perfect name for that dude. So
he honestly, and you know how annoying he was to me in Seattle,
right?
And now he's annoying and terrible at football, which I should put that to one side and just laugh the fact that all year they've only scored 8 touchdowns and we're up to week 8, and that's shocking. A lot of it is him. And again, are we seeing him on the hill, at the top of the hill, starting to go over the other side? Or is it just bad line play and bad play design and things like that? It's just all of these players. And I mean, I think you would have seen it if Big Ben would have done another season. I think you would have known all of these were coming to a point where enough was enough. But luckily, he didn't embarrass himself by going for another season. He got out when he knew he had to. And a lot of these people, like boxers, they hang on far too long. And it's sad to see certain players get to, like someone mentioned earlier. Sorry, go on, Freddie.
Ben was awful last year, but at least in those fourth quarter games, he got us down the field and won us those ball games, which is the difference between last year and this year. But the likes of Matt Ryan this year, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, they're all looking, Aaron Rodgers, they're all looking really not great. I think in Tom Brady's case, I'm not sure it's completely on him because the Buccaneers in general look a complete and utter joke. But for some of the other guys, Matt Ryan in particular, I mean, it's just not worked out at all. And he was fading in Atlanta, so I don't really understand why Indianapolis thought that was going to change.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because he may have had a better line in Indy, possibly. Because that's why Philip Rivers went there, wasn't it? Because he'd been had the snot kicked out of him all those years in where was he? San Diego, the Chargers. And then he went to Indianapolis, and his first season he was really good because he had a decent line behind him. But then everything caught up with him. Here's an interesting question. If you had to pick Russell, Brady, or Rodgers for your team right now, which one would you pick? Seems like the old guard is finally done. Ooh. Would you want to return for Brady, Carl, and Belichick for one last ride?
Well, are we talking as in them right now, or are we talking of them in their prime?
Yeah,
now.
Right now.
I would probably take Brady over everyone because he's the better leader. He is the better leader. Don't shake your head at me, Scott. Aaron Rodgers is not a fucking leader. He's a petulant child.
Brady's not breaking tablets on the sidelines and yelling at his linemen and throwing a fit.
Fuck the tablets.
He's done that his whole career.
He is the tablet killer. He is the tablet killer. What about you, Scott?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. He was the MVP last year. No doubt. He doesn't look that bad. His team, he's just lacking weapons. His defense has been not that great. The run game's been not great. I mean, he can still throw the ball. He looks better than those other two guys.
Yeah. What about you, Freddie? Who are you taking?
I'd rather pay 5p on Nathan Peterman and then just let the others. To be honest, but if I had to pick, probably Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Now, Brady and Rodgers, both 49er fans. I would take Rodgers based purely on what I've seen from Brady. And I'm not talking about, because I think all the smashing up of shit and going on the sideline looking like you're sucking a lemon is hilarious. I don't care what player it is. It's just funny.
Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look that bad.
He's got horrible hair. Let's be honest.
Got guys dropping passes and aren't open.
I don't
one
like
guy
his
he's
greasy
familiar
hair.
with has been hurt, and Lazard keeps getting injured. Aaron Rodgers is a lot better than those other two guys at this point. Aaron Rodgers on the 49ers might be pretty good. I don't know. I'm not really that impressed with the Niners wide receivers, though, either. So, Debo's like a hybrid running back wide receiver. So,
but as I've said before, he's not a downfield threat, and we've got one in Danny Gray, who could be if he could actually catch the fucking ball, but we never throw to him, and we don't stretch the field. So again, it bring Ryan back in. He's obviously back at home base, so that's good. But yeah, Rodgers for me. I don't like any of them, but I would suffer Aaron Rodgers for a season. That's what I would suffer. Ryan, what about you? You got to choose right now: the cornball, the tablet destroyer, or discount double check. Now for the 49ers, who are you picking?
I know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, got you.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was too busy doing groceries with my wife, so I couldn't hear the whole conversation. I'm sorry, guys.
No, we were just talking about obviously how this year it seems that a lot of the older QBs are now starting to show their age and coming out, not their prime, but they're. And then someone raised the point: if you had to pick Russell, Brady, or Rodgers right now for your team, who would you pick?
Ooh, that's a good one. For me, I probably go with Russell only because he's younger. I think Russell's younger than both of them.
Even though his play stinks.
Yeah, yeah, they all stink. But I can't believe how Brady was last week.
But the good thing is, if you pick Russell Wilson, you could go on 50-hour plane rides and he'd be fine when he got off the other end, if you believe the shit that he's been spouting this week.
Yeah, if he's not throwing 400 yards and 5 touchdowns tomorrow, I'll be disappointed.
What's up, Freddie?
He won't be playing. I think he's questionable, isn't he? I don't think he's even going to play, based on the fact that he's either injured or just awful, or both.
I mean, watching Denver is I mean, watching the Steelers is bad enough, but watching Denver is even worse. I don't know how they're
standing there, you're screwing me, and you're fucking useless.
Thanks for that.
My wife would definitely want to see that. She'll definitely want to see that. My wife, she loves Gordon Ramsay.
He's not fucking useless. He's amazing because he can go for 10-hour plane rides and not get jet lagged. He's fucking Superman. Come on. Russie Wussy is Superman. And I don't think somehow they're going to be selling those T-shirts in Denver. Russell Wilson is Superman. Super Dick, maybe, but not Superman. Right. It's my favourite part of the show. We've got more than what happened. Yeah, he probably... I don't know what he did with that, actually. It's my favourite part of the show. We got 5 people in here, so there's a very good chance there could be some lone wolves. Now, we all know that Scott has got the best room for lone wolfing. That's a given. We also know that Freddie has got the worst lone wolf in the history of lone wolves. Not that I'm trying to influence. Yeah, he has, and I'm not trying to influence anybody on this panel, but viewers, if you've never heard a Freddie Lone Wolf, it's something to behold. Trust me, it is.
Well, there'll definitely be one tonight. So
if you're feeling down and feeling lonely and feeling depressed, we will somehow get Freddie to a lone wolf just to make everybody feel
there will definitely be one. I'm absolutely certain of that. So
right. So here we go. Week 8 games. First one, 1:30 UK time tomorrow. Potential of shit bowl international series.
Yep.
Quite possibly. Broncos at the Jaguars. Carl, choose.
Taking the Jags. Denver's offense is just atrocious right now. If the Jags defense, this is going to be a very low scoring game, but I'm probably going to give it to the Jags. Since 2016, their home record at Wembley has actually been pretty damn good. So I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Scott?
I like Jacksonville. Broncos offense is terrible. They do have a good defense. The Jaguars made a good move getting rid of Robinson at running back. He was kind of blocking Travis Etienne there. Now that he's out of the way and Etienne's getting carries, he's had over 100 yards, I want to say 2 or 3 games in a row now. So, give me the Jags. That's the home team too, technically.
Technically, Duval comes to Wembley and it won't stay there long. What about you, Freddie?
Same. I'm going the Jags. You just can't take Denver and their offense at the moment. And as Carl says, the Jags are very good at Wembley, so or even in London. So Jags to win.
I mean, to me, I watched the Jags Giants. Quite a good game. Quite feisty. Yes, the Jags were unlucky, and the Giants were lucky, but I didn't think that running game that Jacksonville's got. In fact, the offense is looking half frisky. For some reason, the defense, I don't know what, and they've got some great players on that defense. And it's still not really clicking. But yeah, I can't. As much as I'd love to see Russie Wussy play and shit the bed live, I can't take the Broncos seriously. Their defense can only do so much. If the offense isn't helping, they got no chance. So even I'm taking the Jags. Ryan.
The Jaguars.
So it's a clean sweep. Russie Wussy, sit your ass down. You're cooked.
We should, if there's a clean sweep, we should do like a wolf pack where we all do the wolf thing together or something.
I was thinking the same thing, Scott. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, what we do is we pretend we're going to do that, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then just Freddie does it on his own. Just
3, 2, 1.
Just to see if we can catch Freddie out. Panthers at the Falcons. Now, the Panthers won last week, bizarrely. Still didn't look great.
I love this game because the winner goes top of the division. That's why I love the NFC South.
And the Pandas are not very good.
The Pandas are awful. The Falcons, and again, any given Sunday, that team beat the 49ers. So let's not anoint them as the kings of the NFL like a lot of people were just because they won. I'm going to take the Falcons at home for me. Carl?
This is tough. This is a real tough one. As much as the Pandas win over the Buccaneers last week was pretty decent, the Bucs offense was nowhere near clicking on all cylinders. At least the Falcons are going to put points on them. So I will take the Falcons.
We should actually have a tablet watch when they're playing again on a Sunday, and if the Bucs are losing, to see how many he smashes up.
Well, to get a little something, to get something on one of our calls. So say, bring the board down. That makes it to 7 tablets now.
Exactly.
Did you see the one that was behind Brady's back and they took it away?
Yeah, someone actually took it away.
Oh, did they?
Save the tablet. Save the tablet. Save the tablet. Because come here.
God save the tablet.
It's not as if Microsoft aren't a multi-million-pound company, and of course they love the fact that he's smashing up the surfaces because it's more money in their pocket. Unless they're giving them free to the NFL, of course.
Yeah, I don't think the NFL's paying for those.
The tie-up, yeah, it would be interesting to have a compilation video of him losing his shit and smashing tablets. That'd be quite funny. So, Carl, did you pick? Sorry,
Falcons.
Super smug.
Falcons. That Panthers was an aberration. You see that a lot with teams when they fire their coach. Team rallies around the new coach for a game, but they got nothing. So they lost Christian McCaffrey. Who else they got? They got nothing else. So Falcons are. If the Falcons could just stop killing themselves, at the end of the game, they'd be looking a lot better than they are right now. So I like Atlanta.
Yeah, Falcons are going to Falcon, and it don't matter, how many years part that these teams have a tendency to do things like that, don't they? Freddie,
we beat Tampa Bay. It's not exactly an achievement, so
Ryan,
the Dirty Birds.
Okay, so that was a clean sweep. Ready? 1, 2. No, I'm only joking.
No.
Now, this next one for me, this pick is really easy, and it won't take me 5 minutes. And I am going to be lone. I know I'm going to be lone wolf in this one. Bears at the Cowgirls.
Yep, you'll be lone wolf in this one.
Justin Fields is back, baby. Bears. Carl?
Is Justin Fields going to have another sort of game he had like that against the Cowboys? Probably not. I'm taking Dallas.
Super smug?
The Bears and Justin Fields will not have another game like they did against that Cowboys.
I'm now warming up my throat, so just bear with me.
Cowboys.
Okay. Do I need to ask the other two, or am I just warming up my vocal
I have a
cords?
conundrum on this one because the Cowboys' offense isn't very good, and it's
Dak Prescott returned last week from an injury.
He did,
Of
but
course
he
they weren't
looked,
great.
And
he
they
did
looked
look great, and I
awful.
don't think the Cowboys' offense is that great. If I'm being completely honest, we haven't got any Zeke this week either, so they're going to have to rely on Tony Pollard in the
It was
running
a better
game.
running, but it was a better running back. But carry
I
on.
agree, I do agree, but they do look better with the two of them together, giving them both reps. But
Right.
I don't think this is going to be a walkover for the Cowboys. But Justin Fields, with that Cowboys defense coming at him and the pressure he'll be under, he will not be able to make the same plays that he did against the Patriots. So, yeah, I've got the Cowboys, but in a narrow one.
Okay. Ryan?
Nick, you probably feel like how you feel about the Cowboys is how I feel about the Seahawks. So this is gonna be one of my upsets. I'm going for Bears.
Oh, Nick got warmed up for nothing.
I was about to say that too. I was
That's
like, Nick, you're warming up for nothing.
I don't
one of
need
my
an
upsets.
excuse to. I don't need an excuse to have a sip of beer. So I just use that as a little show-stopping thing until I'm ready. But it's
Nick,
coming.
when you put in the game out that I'm going to lone wolf on.
I'm just getting to the games.
Okay. I want to get out of the way.
Dolphins? No. Dolphins at the Lions. I'm still sticking by my Lions. Can't
Oh
help
my
it.
fucking god!
I'm
help
with
it.
you. I'm with you, Nick. I think Lions win this game.
I can't help it. There you go. So that's another lone wolf, unless someone else is going to pick Miami.
No, I agree.
So,
I think Lions. I don't
Wait a
know.
minute. Everybody's picking the Lions?
that's got to be a first.
Who's
No,
picking the
anyone?
Lions?
Me
No,
and
who's
me
picking
and
the
Nick
Lions?
are. I think the rest of you will probably go Dolphins, to be honest.
Ryan?
I'm going for Finns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fins
Same.
up.
Dolphins.
Carl?
Yeah, Dolphins.
Okay. I can't, I have to pick them based purely on Hard Knocks. No other reason. And I actually quite like their coach. Oh, shit. Oh, I've knackered my phone. Hang on, what's happened here?
Throw at the wall.
For some reason, it went onto a video, and not that sort of video before anyone says it. It was my secret Russie Wussy video of him on the plane. I had some exclusive footage of him being a dick. Cardinals, Vikings. I can't believe I'm picking the Chocotron 5000. I can't believe it because I cannot pick the Tards. God forgive me. The Vikings for me. Carl?
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota. I know the Cardinals won last Thursday night against the Saints. DeAndre Hopkins is back now. But remember, there was 3 picks that Andy Dalton threw. I don't think it's going to be that straightforward for Cardinals to have that much of an easy day on defense. So I will take Minnesota to win.
Scott?
Same. Vikings.
Up the Albion?
Vikings' record is completely and utterly distorted by the fact they've played some really easy games and only won every game by a score, bar one, I think. So I'm not keen on them. But then I don't like Cliff Kingsbury. I think Arizona are complete and utter rubbish. So I've got the Vikings, but a game I'm not that bothered by.
Any news on this, Scott? Carl, anyone seen? Is Tyreek Hill playing tomorrow?
I expect he is, unless something's popped up. Let me check my fantasy page.
I can't touch my phone when it's on the games because I press wrong buttons and then end up with videos playing. So I'm not touching my phone. So we'll find out about that. Ryan, who are you taking?
Well, I definitely gotta go with Vikes because of our division. So I'm with Vikes because of it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Any news, Carl?
Yeah, he's playing. He hasn't got a questionable designation, and he hasn't got an injury designation. So no, it looks like he's playing.
Okay. Raiders 2-4. Raiders.
Oh no!
Now that's even more.
We suck again.
I thought I'd bring back a retro video from last season.
In fact,
why not?
if you look at the yeah, exactly. If you look at the records of these two teams, this could be a shit bowl. 2-4 are Raiders at the 2-5, and the Sun. What the fuck has happened to the Saints? They've fallen off a cliff. Which, again, it's kind of like, well, Drew Brees has gone, Sean Payton's gone. It was them doing it, not anyone else. Blah blah blah, like we were talking about earlier.
Michael Thomas being hurt for 5 years.
I'm not picking the fucking Raiders. I'd rather pull my teeth out with a pair of pliers. Saints. Carl?
This is a coin flip. Oh, fucking hell. If Josh Jacobs is able to run on this Saints defense, I think the Raiders win this.
Hey Nick, I was thinking about something when Carl was thinking. You definitely need a Jeopardy song. You definitely need one.
without getting copyright claimed, I don't think we can, mate. I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Mr. Smug, aka Super Smug.
Saints.
Freddie.
I'm actually going to lone wolf on this. Bloody hell! I was of all the things, all the games I thought I'd lone wolf on. I was not expecting this game.
And if you pick the Raiders, there's a good chance you're going to lone wolf on this.
Saints have got too many injuries. So Raiders for me.
Okay. Now, Ryan, not to twist your arm in any way, shape, or form, but do not pick the Raiders. No, I'm only joking. Who are you picking?
The Saintos.
Uh-oh.
Right, hang on. Now, let's quiet in the room. Everyone mute themselves, apart from you, Freddie, obviously, because you're not getting away with this. So,
Well, there's going to be another one in a minute anyway, so I'll just get this first one.
No, but you've got two chances to do your best lone wolf. So we'll go with this one on 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
Woo! Bang!
We even got a Russell Wilson "Let's Ride" thrown in for good measure.
Let's ride, Raider Nation.
Oh God! All right,
Freddie.
calm down. Don't milk it. Don't milk it.
Don't choke there, Carl. Don't choke there, Carl.
Oh dear. Right, can we get the other one out of the way now, please?
I'm good.
No. So that was an interesting one. Now
I can't believe I'm lone wolfing on that, but okay.
that was a shock. That was a shock. Now, Patriots at the JETS under my guy Robert Saleh, the Jets surging. Who knows what's going to happen this week to the Patriots? Now, this wouldn't surprise me, even though we spoke obviously at length earlier. It would not surprise me if the Patriots went to the Meadowlands and completely waxed them. That would not surprise me in the slightest. But I'm still picking the Jets, baby. Carl.
Yeah, Patriots win. We've won 12 straight against them, and coming off that much of a bad loss against the Bears, Belichick is going to want a response. And yeah, so we'll beat the Jets.
So do you think we should have a tablet watch on Belichick this week?
He hasn't thrown the tablets. He's smashed up a telephone before, but he hasn't smashed up a tablet before.
First time for everything. There's a first time for everything. Never say never. Scott.
Jets.
Freddie.
I really want to make Carl do a lone wolf, but I think the Patriots win this, to be honest.
But the thing is, you see, you won't make, because obviously Ryan's wife is stood behind him.
Oh, yeah,
with a big
I've got
skillet.
yeah.
She's got that skillet ready.
I was waiting for it.
To whack him over the head if he even says, he wouldn't even get the jut out before you hear crash. And then them little birds would be going around his head like in the cartoons. Let's test out that theory. Ryan, Patriots or Jets?
She is literally about 4 feet away from me. Come on, come over. Come over. It's okay. Bend over. Okay. I'll turn it over a little more.
No, you're good. Just leave it alone.
You can't hear them because you might hear my earphones. Now I'm gonna get hit. Lock myself. The Jets.
I don't care who the person is.
Pick the Jets.
You're not even on camera. You're not even on camera.
I don't want to.
It's all right. It's all laughing and joking now, but as soon as the camera goes off, he's getting it.
Yeah.
It'll be outside in the yard in the dog compound.
I'm in a dog compound, you said.
No, I don't care.
Trying to see if I can. There you go. Now she can hear you guys. She can hear you. She can hear you now. She can hear you.
Get the biggest frying pan you can find and give him one upside the head. Live on the Shank Club. Fancy picking against your wife's team. That's terrible. So no lone wolf on that one. But I bet you there's a lone wolf on this next one. So should we just give the floor to Freddie? Or, I mean, me personally, I am obviously going to pick the Eagles. But their luck at some point has got to run out.
It won't be this week. It's not this week.
Yeah, but let's be fair. When you beat Tom Brady and co, did you think you were going to win? No.
Yes. Yeah, I did. Because
Really?
I've seen the Bucks this season. I thought there's a real chance of winning that. I think the only hope we have is if TJ Watt's playing. At the moment, it's looking a bit 50-50. He might actually come back tomorrow, but if he's not, there's no way. There's no way.
I mean,
I'm saying the Steelers
this,
because why not? But
I mean, we were saying this earlier, Freddie, right? This game, in the scheme of things, doesn't mean anything, right? Why rush back TJ Watt? Like the Niners and, the guys are saying they think that they brought back those players too early for a game that, yeah, of course, you want to get one over on them because of the Super Bowl, but it doesn't mean anything. It's not mission critical. Give them another week off.
we got the bye week next week anyway. So
if you're going to lose, like, a lot of people think you're going to lose, just sit him. Don't dress him. What's the point? He's not going to do it all on his own, is he?
No, but
50,
he does
50.
It does make a big impact. But I agree. I don't think he should.
You only have to look at how bad the Steelers do. Well, no, that's a bit harsh.
The Steelers.
Sorry, go on, Scott.
Oh, Steelers. They're only a game or two out of first place, right?
After Baltimore won on Thursday night, a couple now.
Yeah. This isn't a meaningless game.
Well, as in, it's not the same
guys,
division.
Our schedule is quite nice. We've still got 3 NFC South teams to play. We've still got all the divisional games to play.
Yeah. The Ravens, aside from last week, are the new Falcons and Chargers. They choke away all of these games. The Browns are nothing to write home about, nothing special. The Bengals looks like they're going to be missing Jamar Chase for 4, 5, or 6 games here. That's a lot of their offense, and a lot of Joe Burrow is him and Chase. That's a fairly big game. They keep pace and hang in there with a win.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can't see past the Eagles, but it wouldn't surprise me if there is an upset. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Carl.
Eagles. I know it's Freddie. TJ Watt's back.
Don't think he'll play, but it's 50-50.
Then Eagles then.
Scott.
Yeah, Eagles, they stay undefeated this week. I'm afraid for our guy
They've
Freddie.
got Texans next week, so it's even better.
At least you can't get beaten by the bye week, and that's what I'm looking forward to next week. At least we can't get beaten by the bye week, although the 49ers will somehow get beaten by the bye week.
Have you got the bye next week as well?
Yeah. We're going to take care of the Rams, kick their sorry asses, and then we're going to have a week off. Ryan, who are you picking?
Well, I don't know if I'm going Wolf or not, but I'm not going for the Smeagol. You know me, Nick. I'm going for you, Freddie. I'm going for you, Freddie.
All right.
Yes,
Me and Freddie.
That is a hatchet job.
Me and Freddie were pretty much sold on to have lone wolves on our own teams, and yet it's Ryan that's actually been the fly in the ointment doing this.
Trouble is, who invited this guy on it? Oh, yeah, it was me.
You did, you twat.
It was me. It's on me.
I want the Eagles to get their first loss, so I hope Steelers can do it.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. But then it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers got completely waxed.
Any given Sunday.
Exactly. Titans, Texans.
Oh.
Texans are due a win. Texans are due some luck. Derrick Henry is coming into Derrick Henry time. He warms up around Halloween. Titans. I almost went Texans, but I just can't. Carl?
Tennessee, take him. I still don't trust Houston. They've got some good pieces, but they're still a team that's in flux right now. So yeah, taking to Tennessee.
Scott?
The Titans got the easiest schedule of any fucking team in the league this year. Every time they got to play the Colts twice in 3 weeks. Now they get to play the Texans. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, that's easy. Titans. Easy pick, that game.
What about you, Freddie?
Well, this is obvious. I can't go with the Texans. And I agree about the Titans schedule, but then the Eagles schedule's ridiculous. It's so easy. They've got us this week. They've got the Texans on Thursday night. Then they've got, the only games that the NFC East have is against each other. It's
the Eagles. They beat the Vikings and the Cowboys, though, right?
They did, but then the Vikings
two winning teams.
I think the problem this year is there are so many bad teams that a lot of team schedules are quite straightforward.
Not us.
But yeah,
you just had your easiest game of the whole year last Sunday, so don't you say anything about easy schedules. We're a fucking Labrador still looking like that, and you're fucking rubbing our bellies. Don't give me none of that. All the other teams. Ryan.
And we even tried to throw you a biscuit there at the end by taking Patrick Mahomes out, and you guys still threw an interception. And gave us the ball back.
Shut up. Look, we've moved on. We're in week 8. Fuck week 7. And we're not talking about that anymore.
Anytime, baby.
Fucking who let him on here? Oh, yeah, it was me again. Dumbass.
Any given Sunday, baby.
Yeah, I'll give you something. And it won't be a Sunday. Be an ice cream Sunday right in the schmusher. Ryan.
Clash of the Titans.
That's okay. Now, this could have been a shit bowl, but now, with the benching of Matty Ice, the Commanders somehow found a way to actually look reasonable Commanders at the Colts.
Ugh.
I know.
As I said, this is one of the shit bowls, and I can't believe it's on at 9:25 in the UK.
8:25. The
Holy-
clocks go back.
Oh, 8:25.
Yeah.
Sorry. 8:25. Even so, even at 8:25, this game sucks.
Yeah.
Carl.
Oh, fucking hell.
Although the Commanders' defense actually looked like they found what they're supposed to do last week.
How good is this Sam Ellinger kid? Because this
He
is
ran
the
a
quarterback. This is the
70-yard
quarterback.
But he's nothing special.
I mean, he ran a long touchdown in the preseason against a lot of teams.
Yeah. Oh dear, we've lost him. Yeah, we've lost him. Okay, I better start running it then. I'm going to take Washington. I think they'll give the rookie QB a problem. And Taylor Heineke, he didn't exactly do badly last week. Only beating the Green Bay Packers, but still. So I'm taking Washington. Scott?
I'm picking I'm picking the opposite of whoever you picked in this game. So
This is for
position here. I'm going to take the Colts. I think they can run the ball on the Commanders. I'm not sold the Commanders are any good. Taylor Heineke, you get Ellinger in there. They can do some things on offense with the run game. So I'll take Colts.
Freddie?
As we so often see with lowly drafted new quarterbacks, they often play the first game and win. So I'm going to go with the Colts. I don't rate Washington. I had them beating the Packers last week because I thought the Packers looked awful, but Washington aren't very good either. So I just think Colts will win this.
Ryan?
The Commanders.
Oh, okay.
I was so hoping for a lone wolf there. Damn it.
So it's going to be, so Nick will have to do the tiebreaker. Right, now I've got to get oh, this is embarrassing now because he's got all the scores up and I don't. No, okay, bear with me a minute. Okay, right.
There's Seahawks Giants is the other 8:25 game as well as the
Yeah.
Rams.
Okay, so Seahawks at Giants.
I think it's Giants.
Giants at Seahawks.
Yeah.
Giants
Yeah,
at
right.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Ryan take the Giants. Scott.
DK Metcalf is out and Tyler Lockett is hurt, right? I'm gonna roll the Giants
Roll with the Giants.
based
Freddie?
solely on the fact, like I said, that I think the Seahawks are dealing with injuries to their two good wide receivers. I'm not gonna say they're two best wide receivers. They're two good wide receivers.
I could be lone wolf in here because I think Seattle, mostly for my fancy purposes, because I want Kenneth Walker to score 3 touchdowns and 400 yards. But I'm going.
Well, Nick.
Seahawks.
Well, Nick's obviously not going to go to Seattle. He's going to take the G-men. So it falls on me if I make Freddie do another lone wolf or not. How good is Seattle? Because they, apart from the Chargers game, they've actually been pretty pedestrian, to be honest. I like what Brian Dable was doing down for the Giants. I do. I'm going to take the G-men. Freddie, floor's yours.
Oh, yay. Well, you never know. Nick might go with the Seahawks. No. That's not going to happen, is it? Right.
No.
Okay.
No.
Go Seattle. That's 2 teams. Get in.
Right.
I'm like, okay, Freddie, where's my trash can at? Where's my trash can?
Okay. Sunday night football. Green Bay Packers at the Buffalo Bills. Scott.
Bills. Alan Lazard's out, injured. That's their Bills are rested coming off the bye week. So, that's Buffalo all day.
Okay, Freddie.
The question I have here is, will this result be more embarrassing than the 38-3 we had in Buffalo? I think it'll be a similar scoreline. Buffalo.
I think it'll be close. I think it'll be very, yeah. Ryan?
Give me them Bills.
No way you can take the Packers in this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nick would choose the Bills over the Packers. I'm choosing the Bills over the Packers as well. I just think this is going to be an absolute blowout of epic proportions. But then again, Aaron Rodgers does turn up on when the lights are at the brightest. So we don't know. We may get a high-scoring game.
Bills and Chiefs are just levels above everyone else in the league at the moment.
They are. I agree with you on that one. They absolutely are. Okay. Second to last game. Cincinnati Bengals at
Oh,
the
good. The
Cleveland
AFC North.
Browns. Scott.
Do the Browns trade Kareem Hunt? The Bengals without Jamar Chase. Man, that makes this a lot harder to pick.
They got hit. They've still got Higgins. They still got Boyd.
Yeah, those guys aren't Chase, and without Chase, you can double up put more, attention to those other guys.
Good to have you back, Nick. What was your pick? What was your pick for Washington and the Colts?
Washington.
Ooh,
And you already know my pick on the
You
Sea
choose the
Chickens.
G-men over. You choose the G-men over the Sea Chickens, and you've probably chosen the Bills over the Packers, correct?
Obviously.
Right, there we go then.
And I did hear a lone wolf on my phone, and
Yes,
it nearly
it was.
smashed the screen.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
that might
ready.
have been me as well. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we got Bengals at Browns. Nick,
I can't take the Browns seriously. Bungles.
Scott.
Man, this is a tough pick. I just don't like the Browns, man. But the Bengals lost 50% of their offense with Jamar Chase. But I'll still pick the Bengals. I can't pick the Browns.
Ryan.
Sorry about that. Give me those Tigers.
Freddie, it's all on you.
Has everyone picked Cincinnati?
Everyone's picked Cincinnati so far.
Thing is, in other prediction shows, I've gone with the Bengals as well. But as you say, without Chase, it does make it a bit more interesting. But I prefer. This is two teams I can't stand. So the difference is the fact that Joe Burrow and LSU is on one team. So I'm going with the Bengals.
And the Browns have no defense either, which helps out.
And no quarterback.
The Bengals not having Jamar Chase. So
Yeah. Okay, Nick, floor is yours for the final game and the main event.
Is it going to be the same sorry-ass Rams? Can the Niners bounce back from being butt-fucked on national TV? Can 49ers Twitter just calm down for a week going into
No, it's not possible.
Excuse me, this is my show and I'm pondering. You don't all have to shout back, no. I couldn't even push it. Of course the 49ers are gonna they're gonna do it. Yes, they don't have Deebo Samuel. But I don't think that's gonna matter because I think Christian McCaffrey has had a week in the system. Jimmy's going to be good, Jimmy, because he always plays well against the Rams. I forgive you for last week, Jimmy, and your shit show.
And there's only one team. And it isn't. Oh, and it's SoFi South, I believe we're going to. Is that right? We're going to SoFi South?
Yeah, it's your vacation down south. Yeah.
So
So-
far.
Niners all day, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, so
Fred Warner, I predict, my hot take is Fred Warner is actually going to fucking tackle someone and not himself. And McGlinchey is actually going to play as a fucking lineman and not a turnstile. There you go.
that's debatable, but
Well, they both are very debatable.
well, it is debatable because if you take Mike McGlinchey off the right tackle position, the 49ers are undefeated when he ain't on the field. 49ers have never lost a game when Mike McGlinchey is out of the starting lineup.
Do you know what?
Hashtag
And
just
that's
saying.
I actually yearn to have Tom Compton back, the only player ever to get a fucking concussion in the locker room before we went out to play. That's how bad it was last week. It was a shit show. But yeah, Niners all day, baby.
Okay,
Carl.
right. Yeah. I will take the Niners. They do the Rams over in the regular season. I don't see it changing anytime soon. Yeah, I'll take if the 49ers get this win, they're 4-4, they go on the bye week. They can write their season. So I'll take the 49ers.
Scott, you saw firsthand how brilliant the number one rated defense was last week. And they're going up against someone else. Funny enough, and we forgot to bring him into the conversation when we were talking about players that basically are plateauing down. Stafford has not been good this year. Is he going to pull out a win in the regular season for the same sorry ass Rams?
Have they found the 49ers defensive players yet this week? Are they still missing?
No, because they're still having sticks thrown to them by Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the fucking offense, and they're bringing them back like little retriever puppies that they were.
That's what I say.
Oh, dear.
Patrick Mahomes let them out of the kennel for the game tomorrow. Oh, man.
Oh,
You're
dear.
getting very close to being muted and thrown out, Scott. Just remember that. You're getting very close.
God, I want to pick the Rams so bad right now. They just never lose to the Rams, like somehow, some way. Oh boy.
See, even your burner account is still burning me. They've just scored another TD.
I'll pick the 49ers. I want to pick. They never lose to the Rams ever. Somehow, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
They're gonna lose this week now, and it's gonna
I
be
see
your
here
fault.
that they found the 49ers defense, but they're all questionable to doubtful with fractured confidence and fractured pride. So.
Except for Nick Bosa, who's got a neck contusion where he was being strangled the whole fucking
I was
game.
waiting for it. I was
It
waiting
happened.
the entire time.
It happened.
They showed one highlight, and I thought of you instantly, where they called a holding penalty on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs defender had his arm literally pulling the guy down. And then there was the one play where Frank Clark had his hand on the guy's throat. It was like pushing him over.
It was fucking sleeper holds and neck breaks. Terrible, dirty players.
49ers.
Okay. What say you, Freddie?
Yeah, you can't bet against the Niners with the Rams. I'm in the similar position to Scott. I'm desperate to want to say Rams, but you can't. So I'm going Niners.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Unless Ryan has been hit over the head with a frying pan and he's changed his allegiances.
Oh, let me see here. Oh, Lambs, I guess. I'm just checking. I'm messing with you. Hell no.
The Rams.
My wife's going for Rams, just so you know.
Yeah, well, you know why? Because you went against my team last year.
That is true. Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Ryan's gonna be hitting the singles bars with Tom Brady here pretty soon.
If he carries on like that, he definitely will. So Freddie had the most lone wolves this week. Is that right?
He was the only one.
He's the only one.
He was. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Weird, and one of them.
For the one I thought I would either.
No, exactly.
You've lone wolfed the Raiders, and you've lone wolfed
the Seahawks.
Seahawks against the G-men.
Yeah, Seahawks, the second best team in the NFC West, just behind the Rams, and then you've got the Cardinals, and then there's a bit of a drop. I don't know why I'm talking. We're the worst team in the AFC North, but still, it's fine.
You got to have a sense of humor, Freddie, my boy. You got to have a sense of humor. Right.
Nick, why don't we put our offense with your defense, and we could make an elite team there? Put them up against the Chiefs. They'd put 90 on us.
Didn't you watch the 49ers defense against the Chiefs?
Yeah, that's my point. Put our offense with their defense. Look at our team there. It'd be amazing.
You wouldn't even beat the Houston Roughnecks. Not even in the NFL either. So,
yeah, I was going to say we wouldn't beat the Piston Penguins. Right. Final thoughts before we get up out of here, Carl. Let everyone know where they can find you and any final thoughts.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at KV Sports31. You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is KV Sports. Do a lot of New England Patriots content as well as Arsenal FC. Regarding of this game against the Jets, we need this. This has got to be a game which we have to win. It's not going to be easy, but I've got faith that we can get this win. Hopefully, we can get this win desperately needed.
Or it could be embarrassing, but we'll see. Although, is you losing to the Jets embarrassing? Not this season. Seasons previously, when they were dog shit, possibly. But it's one of that, like, it is a coin flip for a lot of neutrals, I would say, because of they are, and again, I don't know to take either New York team seriously. I still can't really get my head round taking either of them seriously for, anything really. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Super smug. You've had your hour and 50 minutes of being a smug bastard. No McDonald's jokes. No, or have you just got a nip to the drive-through? None of that this week. I've been very contrary and very humble in defeat. So officially week 7 is done. No more talk about last week. That's done and finished. So let everyone know where they can find you, being smug, what drive-through you work at, what your employee number is, in case people want to send you on the McDonald's app, send you a burger while you're working for food and stuff.
You can find us on pretty much all the social medias at Chiefs Kingdom Live. If you want to go back, we did a good about hour and 15-minute recap of that beatdown of the 49ers. If anybody's interested in catching that, you can go.
Cool. That's the first thing when I get off of here. That's the first thing I'm going to do. No.
He's very close. He's very close to the ejection trap door here, Nick.
Right.
He's very close.
But no, yeah.
Hovering.
I don't have a game this weekend, so kind of a boring weekend for me. But yeah, good to see everybody. It's fun as always. Good to see you jumping in here, Freddie, Ryan. Thanks for hopping in. See how you guys' teams do this weekend.
Can't get any worse for me. That's the only solace I can take. It can't get any worse. Freddie, been a pleasure as ever. Thanks.
It can definitely get worse. It can definitely get worse. I've watched enough Steelers games to know it can get worse. All I'm going to say is it's the Battle of Pennsylvania tomorrow, and there's a certain good college game at the moment. involving a Penn State touchdown that I've literally seen.
I've just seen it as well. Penn State are really in it. I still think Ohio State's going to win, but Penn State, geez, if they get the upset here, fuck me, that's going to give the Michigan Wolverines big ammunition in the late night game against Michigan State.
Is that the game that's on ESPN?
It is, yeah. Well, yeah, but that's the late game, the real late game.
No, sorry, the one you're talking about, is that on ESPN now?
No, I don't think it is.
Notre Dame at Syracuse is on.
Notre Dame have won now, so it was close, but Syracuse have blown it. I was about to go American. Go on, Nick.
I was just going to say it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all our teams, apart from obviously Scott, because he doesn't need to worry because he's sitting up there in his fucking ivory tower, getting fanned because they're so fantastic, even though they got waxed a couple of weeks ago by the Bills, which I do have to bring up occasionally just to bring him down to earth a little bit. But thanks for joining, Freddie. Really enjoyed your company. You're always a great sport, especially with your lone wolves. And although we do tactical voting sometimes to get you to do lone wolves, it is funny because you have the best, worst lone wolf ever. But thanks for popping by, Freddie. Really appreciate it. Ryan, final thoughts. Let everyone know where they can find you on your channel, etc.
It was a pleasure being here with you guys, even though I wasn't here the whole time. But thank you very much for having me. And of course, Nick, you know I'm always here. And you can catch me and the fellas and the guys on the Red Going 24/7 and the Faithful Empire. All right. And we'll be back definitely next week. All right. Let's get everything set up again and get it going again. So, and it's on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, just so you guys know. All right. That's all from me.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you. Even though I took a lot of shit in the comments today, I deserve it because everyone knows if the Niners would have come out the other side and won, I would have made Scott's life a lot harder than he's made mine. So I do appreciate the fact that you didn't, because I can't. Once I start something, I can't stop, and you would have got it in spades, trust me. But it didn't happen. Unfortunately, my Niners sucked. We aren't going to suck tomorrow, and it's 8:25 because of the clocks, so I can even go to bed at a reasonable hour happy, as opposed to staying up till after midnight last week, wishing that I hadn't have even bothered. It could have just been a bad dream. Unfortunately, it wasn't a bad dream. It was reality. But anyway, as I say, Super Bowl, chokeholds, last week's abomination, it's all gone. Moved on. Christian McCaffrey is going to become a star.
We got 5 there. Catch up.
Yeah, but as Scott came at me, or no, it wasn't Scott. I think it was one of his little cronies come at me on Twitter about, the 49ers that, living in the past. But the last time the Chiefs won a Super Bowl, it was black and white, and NFL Films didn't even exist. It was some bloke with an old cine camera at the game with that geezer with the slick back hair. That's how long ago it was.
Hey, you've got 5, we've got 2, but beating you head to head, that counts for like at least 2 or 3 in bragging rights. So we're almost even.
Yeah, and the Patriots are 6.
Same as the Steelers.
Yeah. But at least Carl is living in the now, unlike me, Freddie, and Scott recently, but only 1. So at least Carl is.
I mean, I've seen 2 of them, so I'll take it. Admittedly, 4 of them were a bit before I was born, but
it's all love, Scott. It's all love, man.
Oh yeah,
all love, man. Sure. You know that.
Yep.
But it's we live in the past, and we one day hope that past glories will return. But unfortunately, the only thing that passed last week was my brain having to be fried watching that absolute fucking fuck up shit show load of shit. They do that to me again tomorrow, I'm going to take a Twitter sabbatical because I don't think I can handle it. I can't. Please, Niners. Please beat Jimmy. Please, just be good, Jimmy. Just for 1 week. Just give me a break. That's all I want. I just want a break. I don't want to. Every time you get the ball and you go to pass, I don't want my heart in my mouth. I just want something simple. Just hand the fucking ball off. I don't care. Don't run around because you can't run. Stand there, throw it away, do whatever. Just don't throw it to their fucking players. Anyway, that's it. We going. I've said my piece. We've moved on. Niners forever.
Go Rams.
And I hate the chokehold specialists. We're out of it.